Welcome to today's mindful movement practice. So today I'm going to take you through a simple yoga flow, a stretching, strengthening sequence that will get your heart rate up just a little bit, but not so much that you can't sneak it in your workday. So this is great to do if you've been sitting all day, if you just need a moment to move, to work some energy out, to get some thoughts out, to clear your head, or if you need to bring that energy up a little bit. So it's very balancing, and it is something that you can sneak in when you have just a short amount of time in your day. All you'll need is a yoga mat. If you're used to practicing yoga and you have any other props that you want to use, go ahead and feel free to incorporate those. But we're going to start down on the mat in a child's pose. So for child's pose, go ahead and sit your hips back onto your heels. Take your knees nice and wide and fold forward as much as you can. If your hips pop up off your heels, that's okay. See if you can just press into them. Maybe you don't fold down quite as much, but take it as far as you can. And just start to drop into your breath here. The breath is our guide, it's our power, it's our fuel in our yoga practice. So breathe in and out through the nose as much as you can. And just start to check in. See how you're doing in this moment, how your body's feeling. Maybe scan from fingertips down through to the toes. Noticing if there's any tension, anything that feels a little off today, feels tight, or maybe feels really good. And start to drop into the thoughts, noticing, observing the pace, the flow of the thoughts. If there's anything that you seem to be lingering on, any patterns that come up. And no right or wrong, just seeing what's here today. And then tuning into that breath in and out through the nose if you're able to. This allows you to really connect into it. It keeps that breath a little warm, heating up the body, grounding you as we start to move. So before we really move here, just press the hands a little bit more. See if you can use that stretch to sink your hips a little deeper. And then come up onto hands and knees, fingers spread wide, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, toes tucked or untucked. Take an inhale, rock the shoulders back, lift the heart, lift the hips. So front of the body nice and open for a cow pose here. Collarbones wide. Exhale, curl, tuck your head, tuck your hips, pull the belly up and in, arching like a cat. Inhale to open cow. Exhale, curl and around cat pose. Inhale, opening. Exhale, curl and round. One more inhale, open to cow pose. See if you can lift the heart a little more, open a little deeper. Exhale, curl and round, tuck in even further. And then find a neutral spine right in between the two. So not opening, not rounding, but shoulders are back, core is drawing in. Step your right toes back and just push through your right heel as if you were about to come into a plank, but we're not going to yet. And hold. Keep the core, the torso steady and strong. Float your left arm out. Fingertips reach out. The arm ends up right by the ear. So opposite arm and leg here. Those right toes can stay on the ground, or you can float the leg up without moving the spine here, keeping yourself steady through the center. So your arm is reaching out of the shoulder. Opposite leg is reaching straight out of the hip, but your breath is flowing in and out through the nose. Keep breathing here. See if you can extend a little more, maybe through those fingertips. Maybe you point through the toe or really flex deep through the foot. One more breath. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down. Take a round of that cow and cat pose. That inhale to open, that exhale to round. One more breath, inhale to open, exhale to round. Find the neutral spine. Engage through the core. Left foot steps back as if you're going to go into that plank, but again, not yet. Right arm, opposite arm extends out. Float your left leg up if you'd like to. Keeping the core supported and anchored as you breathe, as you extend a little deeper. bring your hand down, bring your knee down. Inhale, open to cow pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, press your hips up and back for downward dog, upside down V. You may need to shift your feet back a little, but we're going to set you up for this. So finding that deep downward dog, press into your hands, hips are high, legs are lengthened and heels are reaching towards the ground. From here, inhale forward to a plank pose, so top of a push-up. And if you need to wiggle your feet back a little or fingertips forward so shoulders and wrists are stacked and the body is nice and long, do so here. Squeeze through the legs, squeeze those thighs to keep the legs strong, belly in. Shoulders rock back here, gaze is slightly ahead, like just to the front of the mat. Keep pushing out through those heels. If at any time you need to, you can drop the knees down, come right back into this. One more breath in. Exhale, downward dog. See if you can keep the hands and feet right where they are. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale to downward dog. Push those hips up high. Inhale, forward to plank. You got it. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Hold it here. Sweep your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, step it all the way between your hands. Pivot your back heel flat to the ground and inhale, reach your arms up right by your ears for a warrior one. So front knee is bent, back leg is long with the outer edge of the foot and the heel connecting down into the ground. Hips are mostly square to the front. One more breath in. Exhale, open your arms to a warrior two. Reach out, arms to a T. The feet get a little wider as those hips turn open. Sink a little deeper here, strong and steady through your warrior. Front knee bent over the heel, back leg nice and long, outer edge of the foot pressing down. Shoulders away from the ears, core is strong, flip your front palm. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. Sweep your arm back. Straighten your leg, continue reaching back, and then bring your arms to a T. So legs are straight now. Those front toes are still turned towards the front of the mat. You're going to push your hips back, reach your fingertips forward for triangle pose. So right hand dips down towards the right shin as the left arm reaches open. And think like shoulders stacked here like a T, but you're just tipping it down, creating space as you push that right hip back, left hip stacks on top. This can be a little bit of a funky pose, but think of expanding out, creating space through the arms, space through the legs in your triangle pose. One more breath. And then from here, bring your left hand down to meet the right and pivot that back heel, lifting it up. So you're squaring off the hips. Bend into your front knee. Your hands are down on the inside of your front foot and you're in a nice low lunge here. If you need to, back knee can come to the ground, but hips are square, front knee is stacked right over that front heel. Sweep your right arm up towards the ceiling. Left arm stays down. So now we're twisting into our lunge, but it's a nice supported low twist. So front knee is bent. Left leg is long behind you or knee even down onto the ground. Right arm sweeps into that twist, holding here. As you twist, you may feel there's not quite as much room to breathe, but keep breathing as deep as you can. One more breath. Bring your hand back down. Draw your core strong. Start to float the arms up by the ears, lifting up into a full crescent lunge. So front knee is bent, back leg is long with that back heel lifted. So we're out of our warrior one, we're in our lunge. Inner thighs are squeezing to help you engage into your center. Arms are up by the ears. Keep breathing here. And then you have the option of arms up or hands to your heart or your hips. Shift your weight into your front leg. So the back toes are still on the ground, but feel that you start to maybe even tip forward. That weight really pushes into the front heel. And then float your back knee up. Standing tall into the mat with, if you need to, tapping the foot down. But eventually that left knee lifted to about waist height, holding it here. Bring your hands down, maybe grabbing that foot or hands to the heart and opening into tree pose. So turn your left knee open. Connect your foot to the inside of the right leg. You can connect below the knee, or you can grab and draw it up into the inner thigh, but you just don't want to put it right onto your knee joint. And if you need more stability, your toe can be down on the ground, just pressing a little bit against the ankle. So holding here, steady in your tree pose, finding that midline to help you. So core engaged. One more breath. Draw your knee back to the center, hands come to your heart, slowly tip forward again, extending your left leg long behind you for warrior 3. So you're balancing on the right leg still, left leg is long, your head is tipped forward. We sometimes call this airplane pose or bird pose. One more breath. Plant your foot, plant your hands, step back to your plank, take a breath in, exhale to downward dog. You got it. 3 breaths here just to regroup. We're going to take this to the other side. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your left leg up. Step it forward for your warrior 1. Back heel pivots down, push into the outer edge of the foot. Inhale, sweep your arms up, bend into the front knee. Warrior 1. See if you can sink a little deeper, keeping that right hip drawing forward, left hip drawing back. So the hips are square here. One more inhale. Now open the arms, open the hips, warrior 2. Front knee is still bent, but our stance may get a little wider, get a little lower. Arms are extending out, so just feel the shoulder blades squeeze together a bit. Core draw in. Flip your front palm, inhale, tip it back, reverse your warrior. Front knee stays bent as you reach back. Strong and steady through that back leg, grounding you here. Keep reaching back, straighten your front leg, but then maybe bring your arms back to a T. We're taking it into that triangle. So you want to think of deepening your hip crease on the left. Push that hip crease, tip those hips, reach your left fingertips forward as much as you can, and when you feel like you've pulled in opposite directions as far as you can go, left fingertips come down, right arm sweeps up into your triangle pose. Breathing here, shoulder blades still drawing together, chest nice and open. Bring your right hand down to the inside of your front foot, bend into that front knee and lift your back heel, coming into a lunge, nice and low to the ground. Again, you have the option of dropping the back knee down. Left arm sweeps up this time, finding our twist. Right hand on the ground, left arm reaching up. You got it. Breathe. Bring your hand down to the ground. Power through the legs, through the core. Maybe just lift your fingertips up an inch so you feel the core engage. And then sweep your arms all the way up, finding that full crescent lunge. Just like in Warrior 1, arms are by the ears, they're reaching up. The difference here is that instead of back heel pivoted down, it's lifting up. You're on those back toes, front knee is bent deep, and you're engaging fully because there is a component of balance here. One more breath. Tip forward, bring your weight to your front foot, and then draw that back knee up towards your chest, standing tall with that knee pulling in. Turn it open to tree pose. Hands can come wherever you need them to be. Heart, hips, reaching out, reaching up, grabbing onto that foot to press against the left leg. However you need to as that right knee turns open. Find your breath here. If you wobble, it's okay. Trees wobble, they sway. Draw the belly in a little more to help you find balance. Press the foot and the leg together. And then bring that knee back forward. Extend the leg out behind you, floating for a moment in your Warrior 3. Think of being like a T here with the body. From here, step the foot back, bring your hands down to the ground, find your plank pose. Take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Look to your hands, travel it all the way up to the top of the mat. Bring your fingertips to your shins and just lengthen halfway, take a breath in, exhale, fold down. Inhale, sweep all the way up, just lifting nice and tall here for a moment. Feeling both feet pressing down as you reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe lift the rib cage, lift the chest, pull in through the belly. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Take one more breath here. We'll close our practice, our flow today, hopefully leaving you feeling a little bit more steady, a little bit more grounded but invigorated. We'll leave by saying, the light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.